right. Now microphone not muted. Let's see if that worked. All right. Now microphone. Yeah. What I started to say is, let me be the first to say happy birthday, Dick Van Dyke, today, December 13th, 2024, his 99th birthday. And just because some of you may not have watched the trailer or absorbed this, I'm going to play a piece of it. This is an interview he did last month, November 2024. This guy is still dancing and exercising every day. And I'm thinking, game on, game on. If he can do it, I can do it. And I need the extra years if I'm going to reach 1 million subscribers, right? So let's see. I got to make sure I've got, let's turn Chrome browser audio on, and I'll monitor this to make sure it works. I'm going to play this for you, captive audience, you. All right.
In a November 2024 interview, he shared how deeply the Sherman Brothers' music moved him when he first heard it. I couldn't believe it. One tune after another. I wept. It was just the most beautiful thing I'd ever heard.
Oh, wait a minute. Did that not show it? That didn't actually show him during this. Yeah, it did.
One tune after another.
Did I pick the wrong one? I picked the wrong spot. There's another spot in there where it actually shows him. Very lively. Oh, come on. Where was it? I was so... Oh, here it is. Here it is. Yeah.
Why 45 years his junior to dance with is also a huge motivator for getting on his feet.
One of Van Dyke's most cherished projects remains Mary Poppins. In a November 2024 interview, he shared how deeply the Sherman Brothers' music moved.
All right, I guess I'm wrong. I'm wrong again. I did show it originally. Doug, such a Monday morning. Yeah, December 13th, 2024. Fictitious Monday morning on a Friday. I see bits running back and forth on Doug's desk. Ryan Israel says, yeah, you do on that. Hey, I got to point to that pretty correctly. I've got one hard drive backing up to another hard drive. And that's been running for a really long time. I started it sometime last evening. And it says 4 hours, 45 minutes remaining. Okay. Are there any questions in chat? I've got some things to talk about, but questions from chat about issues that people are facing or stories about things that they have recently fixed, something like that, always take priority. Hello, Martin Hogg, Mike Wojcik, Rick Lakes, Alice, Chris Garrett, Dick Van Dyke on the trailer looks a little like Jesse with the beard. Oh, yeah, and I need to show something else. If you go to the description in today's video, that takes you to the trailer. And then when you get to that trailer, if you look at the description there, you get the 2 source videos that have more content in them. And I'm not saying that I've been following Dick Van Dyke's birthday. It just popped up on my suggested videos list yesterday. All right, now get back to where I was. Rand Israel, hello. Brian Lightfoot, 99 years old. Oh, looks like he might have said that. Well, he didn't say happy birthday, so I said it first. Richard Rogers, Brian Lightfoot, a Mexican magician, tells the audience he will disappear on the count of 3. He says, uno, dos, and poof. He disappeared without a trace. Phil Stodd, hello. Jeff Ryman, Tim Cruz, hello. Yeah, I don't think I've seen you for a while. Good to see you. Bits running. Oystein, hello. How was your week? How was your week? Well, my Wednesday is part of the story today. In fact, I think I'm going to do the full story tomorrow because it's deserving. I had since I have gone to this alternate fixing LWTdb show title 22 episodes ago, I stopped doing shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This week on Wednesday, I needed to be at a client's office to deal with an issue that I think maybe that I'll cover it more substantially tomorrow, this Saturday, because I think it's deserving of it. Other than that, my week was good. Tuesday and Thursday, I did work on, I moved the needle somewhat on videos. I had some headache issues to deal with. So anyway, all in all, good week. Tim Sowell, hello, Lawn Dog. Doug, are you now doing regular shows on Mondays? Yeah, Martin, your comment, you made a comment, and you're simply wrong about that. If I come back here to my live shows and title and type Monday, we see all of my shows on Mondays. I've been doing Mondays every week. On the 5th show was on a Monday, 9th, 13th, 17th, 21. So you just mistakenly identified that. When I search for Mondays, we don't see anything further back because I did not used to include the day of the week in the show title. Yeah, no, Mondays have been regular during this whole fixing LWTdb time period. Greg M, hello. Swim Trunks, Brian Lightfoot. NBC News yesterday interviewed Van Dyke. He home was in the middle of the Malibu fire. And one of those links in the trailer shows a piece of his Malibu home. I'm not sure if you actually saw that in the trailer. You might have to go look at the photo ones. Malibu had to crawl out of his house until neighbors rescued him. His house was saved. Yeah, I didn't hear that piece. That was an interview yesterday. That was probably after I already created the trailer. You know, going in a warm jacuzzi, haha, and staying there for like survival mode. I think that would be a problem going into, let's see. Yeah, I think he's got some kind of pool or jacuzzi or something. I don't think that would do it because with all the fire raging all around, you might be short on oxygen. Okay, sorry, I was wrong again. I'm glad you asked that so I could clear that up for you. You know what? I'm going to go. I don't know if I'm going to get to the rest of the comments, but I'll go clear Martin's comment in there. So we've got that one handled. I think I will be coming back to comments before the end of the show because I'm not going to spend much time on this job on Wednesday. I did photos and videos. Let's see, let me address something else that was asked a while back about whether my clients might have adverse feelings about my photos and videos and whether, I know what it was. If I wasn't doing YouTube channel, would I be doing that? Yes. I've been doing photos and videos of work that I do at clients' offices for a long time for my own reference material to see what I did, particularly when you get involved in a long troubleshooting experience. You can, after it's over, you can, and particularly if you weren't successful, you might question yourself, did I do that in this order or that order? And you can go back at pictures and videos and see that. But what I'm pointing out here is that I've selected from this photo all the way down to this one, which is 114 photos and videos that I took on Wednesday for that job. So I think that's going to make an interesting story tomorrow. There was more than one problem. And at one point I was thinking that I would do it during today's show, but nah, it's going to be a little, because it's not rehearsed or scripted. And I'm probably not going to show all of those photos and videos, just the ones that are pertinent. All right, I'll bite. Jim, lots of people on social media act like they're suffering from a lack of oxygen. Hypoxia. That was something that we had to understand as pilots. When you get to high altitude, there's certain altitudes where you're required to have oxygen. There's a altitude where you're required to have oxygen on board, not necessarily using it until you're past a certain number of minutes. And then there's another altitude where you have to be on oxygen all the time. And the hypoxia will give you a feeling of what? Peace and happiness and tranquility, like everything's going okay. It's not a good thing. When you're flying an airplane, there's an accent there. It's trying to give us an accent. I bought a nice parka at Costco 2 years ago, and it's nice and warm with a hood. Just have to dress right. I know it's probably just a typo. All right, get out of this list. Do you want to drop any teasers about this? Okay, yeah, I'll drop. Here's a teaser. When I walked into his office on Wednesday morning, we did this on Wednesday because he was going to be in his conference room all day with a training seminar that he was hosting for I think it was a training seminar for his industry. You know, some industries you're required to do continuing credits. I think that's what was going on there. Didn't actually ask him. Anyway, he came out of the meeting because he had something important he wanted to tell me because he learned something else about the problem. His vertical market software tech support that he had been in contact with had him run a internet speed test. And I'm not quoting the exact numbers here, but his download speed was, I think, somewhere around 400 megabits per second, megabits per second, whatever the word is they use for internet speed tests. His upload speed was less than 1, like 0 point something. And I think I did let's see, is this it? Just glanced here. Nope, that was a speed test after solving part of the problem. Let's see, that had to be near the beginning. So I'm going to see if I can show you that speed test. Yeah, here we go. Here it is. Let's make this bigger. Yeah, 492 megabits per second download, 0.05 megabits per second upload. What symptoms would that cause on a computer? Yikes. I couldn't even close down his programs to shut the computer down. Everything I was trying to close, I would get not responding. There's some things would close, but not all of them. So more about that story. Mañana. It was a current market computer. It's currently on Windows 10. It is capable of upgrading to Windows 11. We bought these computers near the beginning of Windows 11. I think it came with an option to choose Windows 11 or Windows 10. Since Windows 11 was fairly new in the marketplace, we went with Windows 10. So we're going to have to do in-place upgrades for those. Now, let's go to, I need to come back when I don't have a lot of topics to address. I need to come back to chat to see if there's any questions. I'm going to skip through a little bit of that. Cars need to warm up, 10 minutes. Cars, Alex Cheek for a speed test, I guess. Yeah. Particularly when I was doubting, is it bytes or bits? It's bits. Nissan modify thermostat. Oh, Ken is here. That is once saying his name 2 more times in poof. Okay, no questions or stories coming up there, and I got to go check and see if I have anything lined up in my emails for today. One of the determining factors as to when and if I'll go back to 5 days a week is if I have enough questions coming from the audience, from chat or emails or comments on videos. Now, don't mishear me here. I'm not saying that you folks who are loyal and you're here all the time, I'm not saying I need you to come up with questions. No, when you have questions, I know you do come up with them. What I need is a larger audience base, because if I want this show to be about responding to people's questions in live shows, with myself responding and the chat room responding, then I need more people watching these videos. So I'm working on it. Let's see, what do I got here? I do have something. Oh, okay, yeah. I think it was on Monday's show. I captured these things from chat after the show. I don't always go back and read through chat messages after the show these days. But Selden Ball said one of the AI search engines, Perplexity, might help to find the appropriate social media entries. I want to let you know that I did go try that. I went and used Perplexity, and it was helpful. But when I went and did a Google search, I pretty much found the same stuff. But anyway, I just letting you know that I did try your suggestion there. And then when I was trying to find that comment in Reddit, I went back and I used that search comment in Reddit, and it still did not find the comments that were not currently displayed on the web page. Not necessarily on the screen that I was looking at, but you know where it says more comments? You click on more comments to expand that section. It was not searching in those sections. So you had to go click to open those sections before the search comment would work. So just to let you know, that was, and then select the user. Oh yeah, here's what I really found useful is when I went back up to the top of that comment thread to the person who was originally asking the question and clicked on him, then I could see all of his content. And that was a quicker way to get to his message. So that was just a little follow-up. I'm kind of glancing back once in a while to chat to see if I spot something, and I haven't. I don't think I've heard any SpeakerBot. Just checking.
Yes, affirmative.
And I didn't watch OBS to make sure that was going over to you.
Yes, affirmative.
Yes, it is. All right. Now, then, comments. $2 super chat from Patricia. Thank you, Patricia. And I'll give a thumbs up and a heart and reply to, let's see, I guess what I need to say here, Patricia, we're here a few days a week. Used to be 5 days during the week and on Saturday, but now it's Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Saturdays to respond to people's questions. So if you have other issues or questions that come up that we can help with, hey, this is your place to come. So make a note that you can come here when you have some kind of issue going on. And that was in response to the repairing HP all-in-one that won't turn on. And then Paula Bernal says, thank you on this Tech Tales 109. That's an old show on an Excel worksheet. So Patricia, or Paula, we're here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays and Saturdays currently in December 2024. If you have any questions or issues, even about Excel absolutely is part of what we do here. And then this one, Paul Vreeland. I recognize that name. I seem to recognize that name. This was in regards to this parser error machine.config video. Had problems installing Affinity Designer and Publisher and was getting this error. Applied the 2-minute solution offered here. It's not a 2-minute video, but the solution, yeah, you need a little background to understand the solution. Applied the 2-minute solution offered here, rebooted, and had no problems with the installs. Thanks for this. You are certainly welcome, Paul. And I'll be giving you a link to the beginning of this section, so you've already heard the spiel. Matthew Barnes, a regular around here at 136.56 on Saturday's episode. I would make an argument that Jeff Hallish from Podnuts said something to the effect of, even if you're a managed service provider, you're still fixing stuff that breaks. So aren't you still break fix in a way? I think he has a good point. Well, that is absolutely true and valid point, but it is not part of it. It does not respond to what I recall addressing in my comment. If I show up in court, and I gave the description on Saturday about an attorney that sued me, I won, and I won because I brought in my invoice to him, the guy that was suing me, and I brought in other invoices to establish this is the only way I work. I charge for time for services rendered. I charged him for the services rendered, and he was complaining that because I didn't do this other work for him and under his timing requirement, that he shouldn't have to pay me for any of that. No, the judge, no, that's not right. But anyway, the other thing about when you have contracts, and if your contract says anything about providing security or protecting them, then you're putting yourself, I think, on the hook. So if you're a managed service provider and you're still fixing stuff, yeah, you still are doing break fix work. But if you're doing break fix work for a client who you have a contract with, that doesn't get you out of their contractual obligations. And that's something that any attorney or judge is going to want to see right away. Show me your contract. And if there is no contract, then it is just fee for services rendered. Yeah, so the piece there is if you are a managed service provider under contract, you can't claim that you don't do break fix. You still do break fix work. Pineapple Road. Let's expand that. I had something weird happen earlier today after I did a clean install of Windows 11. I did a clean install as I ended up with files that I could not delete at all following an attempt to inject drivers into a Windows installation image. My second attempt at injecting drivers was successful, but I could not delete the files from the failed attempt. Took me a couple times reading that over to digest it. So let me break that down a little bit more. After I did a clean install, so he did a clean install. I did a clean install because I ended up with files I could not delete. So I did a clean install after I had ended up with files that I could not delete at all, after an attempt to inject drivers into a Windows installation image. When you create a Windows installation image and do, I'm shaking my head because I know I'm not going to come up with the right word for this. When you configure your existing Windows installation to be able to create an ISO installation file out of that, sysprep. I got it before anybody in chat told me. So there, sysprep. When you do a sysprep, you can manage that sysprep image. You can audit. I think the word is audit. You can audit it where you can get into the image. I think you actually are booting the image, but in audit mode. I think I'm saying this right. And then you can make changes to it. So that's what I think he's saying with attempting to inject drivers into Windows installation image. There may be some other method to inject drivers into the installation image. But after doing that, there were files that he could not delete in that image. My second attempt at injecting the drivers was successful, but I could not delete the files from the failed attempt. So the files that he successfully got into the image, the driver files, he was not able to delete them. Okay. I'm still trying to absorb this. After the installation was finished, now the installation he's referring to there was doing a clean install. So this clean install of Windows 11, I don't know if that was with the sysprepped image and you're calling that a clean install, or did you go back and do a basic native Windows 11 install without any prior configuration? I think that's what he's saying, because he did a clean install after not being able to delete those files. So I think this is a clean, fresh Windows 11 install with Microsoft installation media. After the installation was finished, I went into Windows Update and installed all the available updates. And once it was at a point where it was waiting to restart, I clicked Restart. The updates appeared to install as normal. But when it reached the desktop, for whatever reason, it restarted again without any user input. Any idea what might have done that? Yes. I don't know if I'm right about it, but I do have an idea. I had a look in the event viewer and also update history, but I can't seem to find anything that suggests why it did that. I think two ideas come to mind first. One, and let's see, both of them probably depend upon the likelihood that there was a message that showed up on screen that is only there for an amount of time. So if you weren't eyes on the screen during this process, then you could have easily missed it. And during an installation, it's common for a technician not to have their eyes on the screen the whole time. But anyway, this was updates. When updates fail to install, then it'll roll it back. Hello, Wendy. Nice for you to show up finally. That's Wendy. That's not Stormy. What is that extra blue? Oh, it's a Post-it note that was kind of over her head in a weird way. Anyway, when an installation fails, it'll roll it back, and I have seen times where it'll get all the way to the desktop, then give you a message that it failed, we were unable to complete whatever, and then it rolls it back, and it goes into an automatic reboot without you touching any keys. That's one possibility. Another possibility is if there was a follow-up update and it automatically restarted for that. Now, usually that doesn't happen, but if you, as far as I'm aware, that doesn't happen without interaction unless, let me get to this, update settings, unless you have this switch set, which I have seen in some YouTube videos, technicians that automatically set this always, and I don't think it's a good idea. Get me up to date. I do not ever turn this on. I do not want that one on. That is bad option. Restart as soon as possible, even during active hours, to finish updating, and notify me 15 minutes before restarting so I can make sure this device is on and plugged in. Now, what I have seen that do is I have seen that cause a message to show up on screen saying the computer's going to be restarted in 15 minutes, and you got that amount of time to cancel it if you're watching the screen. If you don't cancel it, it will restart the computer even if there are programs open, even if there is unsaved content. I have had this happen to a client of mine while they were working, hands on the keyboard and mouse, while they were working during business hours, and the computer restarted. And I'm sure what happened is the message appeared, and lots of end users just get in the habit of clicking away any pop-up messages without reading it. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened to that client. The computer restarted while they had unsaved work on the screen, and then they called me in a panic trying to get it back. I did get some of it back because Microsoft Word does automatic saves while you're working on a document that are saved in a temporary file. It was either that or it was OneDrive, because if you have OneDrive turned on, it's automatically saving. Every time you can type a single letter and it will save it. Looking up at the title bar, you'll see it save. It's a way to protect people against themselves if they're not good about saving. And then let's see, what was, yeah, so I've seen it happen myself, where that message showed up and the computer restarted without me doing any interaction, and it happened on a client. So yeah, no, I don't turn this one on. So if you, now I know some technicians do that automatically. If you had done that, that might have been what was doing it, because when you do any kind of an update, sometimes there are follow-up updates that can't be installed until that first one is installed. So we'll just go ahead and do that next one. On the subject of updates, I had all of my computers, Update Tuesday this week, I had all of my computers in installer updates on Tuesday and prompt for a restart, and I restarted them. Then it happened again on Wednesday. It was either Wednesday or Thursday. I think one or two of the computers I saw on Wednesday, and I think one of them was on Thursday, where it was prompting for a update. Did any of you in chat, give me one in chat if you experienced 2 restarts this week due to Windows Update? Give me a 0 in chat if you did not experience 2 restarts this week for Windows updates. And you don't have much time to do that because it is my witching hour and I've got to get out of here. So Greg Wintermute in Israel, ran Israel, did not have 2 restarts. Phil Stodlon Dog and Danielle did. Brian did not. So there's a mix there. So some computers experience that and some don't. Selden hasn't done the first update yet. And that's okay. In fact, I have one client that I've told you about before, not the Law 40 office, but it's another law office where I connect to her computer and their peer server before Windows Update, before Update Tuesday. So this time I did that on Sunday morning, and I performed the update for November on both of those computers, and then I postponed updates for the maximum amount of time, which was the Sunday prior to Update Tuesday, or Sunday or Monday prior to Update Tuesday for next month. Sometimes when I defer updates the maximum amount of time, it goes past Update Tuesday of the next month. That all happens depending upon what day of the month the next month starts on. So is Update Tuesday going to be in the second week of the month or the third week of the month? If the month starts after Tuesday, then Update Tuesday is going to be contained in the third week of the month. So that makes a difference as to how far you can, what that maximum deferment date is. Alice had major issues regarding updates. Updated one day and thought everything was handled. The next morning I had another update. Thank you, Microsoft. Oh, that was Princess showed up. I had to do it 4 times using 210. I'm not sure what 210 means. I had to do it 4 times using 210, using 210. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Using W10. Oh, Windows 10. Using Windows. Oh, she had to do the update restart twice using Windows 10. That 2 was a typo. Restarting does not clear the restart notification? ? Yeah, restarting should clear the restart notification unless there's another update to do. In this case, there was another update to do, and I haven't researched it yet. It's possible that the first update on Update Tuesday, maybe there was something wrong with it. And so Microsoft issued a subsequent to that. And so maybe the people who did not experience a second restart, maybe they didn't actually install the first faulty one. I don't know that there was a first faulty one. I haven't researched why did we get 2 of them. I might look at that tomorrow. I'm out of time right now. Interested how a company called Zero Patch does updates and they're not requiring a restart. The whole concept is foreign to me and totally interesting. Alice, not for me this time. I think that probably has to do, to Danielle, that has to do with clearing the restart notification. Oh yeah, Alice said she had more reboots to do. I'm rebooting my system right after this video to complete the first update. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this. I shouldn't, but if I go into update history, 12/11, which was Wednesday. Yeah, I'm only showing that one there. I'm not confident that, in fact, I know that if there was a prior installation before the 11th, if there was one on the 10th, it might not show there. I'd have to go deeper into logs to find that. And there, of course, there's also the difference whether you're on 23H2 or 24H2 if you're dealing with Windows 11, and if you're on Windows 10, everybody's on 22H2. Because there is nothing else that's currently supported, I don't think. I think I always do an extra restart for good luck. And that's a valid thing to do. I like to have a clean, normal restart. A restart prompted from an update is not a clean, normal restart. It might be a clean restart, but it's not a normal restart because it's doing updates. So doing another restart after that is a very, very valid thing to do. Microsoft did their usual update requiring restart, and the way Microsoft does their updates, their new update again required a restart. All right, good enough. I'm out of here. Hasta la vista. There's the email address. You can send a question by email, put a comment on any video, ask a question in the chat room. If you come to the chat room and you find that you can't do a chat message, it's because sometimes I have it set on approved users only, and I forgot to turn that off today. All right. Have a great Friday, everybody. I will have the normal show tomorrow. Oh, that button. Goodbye.
That's all, folks.